Okay, so I'm going to talk about management of your session, and this is more what would you rather have, what would you rather do. More often than not, every single workflow might work. Some work a little bit faster than others, but again, for me, the thing that matters the most is what works for you. So I'm going to give you a couple of options so you can manage your session, and you can always find whatever you want, and straight from Mexico City. My name is Juanchis, and let's just jump into Reaper. So you have many tracks, right? I have showed in different videos that I often group my tracks, and I create a lot of folders, and I use a lot of buses. Buses. When I talk about buses, I'm talking about my straight out into my stereo master out. And whenever I'm talking about auxiliary, maybe I'm talking about stuff like this, that are tracks that are not yet going straight into my stereo out, but are ways of handling my audios from one place to another. So the thing is that Reaper lets you cycle through folder collapse state. These actions let you make it super small so you don't look at them anymore on the arrange control panel. The F that I have here, cycle through track folders, is so you can instantly fold them and make them part of a previous track. This works well because it's also routed instantly through this track. That way, if I mute my auxiliary, tracks 5 and 6 won't play anymore. I would have to solo it, and now I have sound coming from it. Otherwise, they are sounding. So usually my way of organizing my sessions is I have vocals at the top, then backing vocals, drums, bass, and harmonic stuff that could be keys, guitars, or synths, whatever is more key-oriented that's most important for the session, for the specific song, then rest of harmonic instruments, and melodic, feely instruments, monophonic instruments, then probably brass, strings, and whatever else is just adding on top of the main production. And that's more or less how most of my sessions are ordered. It's more or less like this, some sort of bus, that's what's going actually into my stereo out, and I end up having 8 at the most, right? And if it seems that like I'm having more, I'll start narrowing down stuff into bus of harmony, bus rhythm and so on. So I don't have to look at so many faders at the end of my session when I'm just micro adjusting a big picture of stuff. From here, using the folders, since everything is auto-routed, since everything is being routed automatically, I might have something like my lead vocal that might not go straight into the bus because it has this blue light on. And remember that holding Option, for those Windows users, that's Alt. I can disable it and I can just route it into my lead vocal verse, lead vocal chorus, and whatever other sections you might have. And depending on which effects I need when, I might have them automated, and I could just copy my sends. And I have a whole video on this, so go check it in the description. So I can just copy the sends and automate this whenever I need them in the song. And even though I have a couple of tracks of effects for my vocals, I could just handle all of the relationship of all of my effects across my song with one single fader. So this helps me keep my faders to a minimum once I got more or less in the ballpark, right? And I can just start making things glue better as long as I need them. This works for me. For example, my drums bus has this sort of structure where I could have like parallel drums inserted, and you can see that they are off my auxiliary of my kick, because you usually have kick in, kick out, snare stops, snare up, snare down, auxiliary, my overhead left and my overhead right, my 3 toms or 4 toms or 2 toms, whatever it might be. Same thing with bass. I might have an electric bass and a synth bass, or 2 tones of the bass for different parts of the song. Keys, we know that usually we might have 2 or 3 tones, or even just one for one single situation. And in any case, I might add some reverb just for the keys. And this is not the auxiliary concept of having one global reverb for all of your song. If I was doing something like that, I would have an extra bus that would be named bus effects. And in the bus effects, I will have my global reverbs, my global delays, But remember that these, even though adjust because they are usually post-fader sends, whenever I bring down one of the tracks, and this will go down, I can increase the whole level of all of my effects on my session. Another way of doing this is that if you're not using a bus effects, you might want to increase or lower the effects of all of your effects tracks in your song. And if you're doing something like this, it's better to use the grouping parameters. So I might select all of my effects that could be parallel drum. Let's only use the spatial effects. So delays and reverbs, all of these might go into one single group that I'm going to use as spatial effects. And I'm going to load my default tags, volume, mute, solo, and so on. And now whenever I adjust one, I adjust all of them, and always have close and at hand toggle all track grouping enabled. That way, whenever you can see these small ribbons on the side of the tracks. That way, whenever I hit my shortcut, I can adjust only one, and once it's on again, I group them all together and I can keep on moving them all together, right? That works really well. That's one way that would you rather do. Would you rather do this sort of bus narrowing things down, where you have to more or less scroll a little bit more on your mixer and scroll a little bit more up and down? Or would you rather, let's copy this whole session, deal a little bit more with this sends section. So I'm going to bring down the hierarchy of every single track so that everything is exactly in the same hierarchy and nothing is routed instantly from one place to another. And I'll just reduce a little bit the tracks that I'm using. And now your session might look something like this if you're not using the folder states. And you cannot collapse as much the tracks, but what you can do is you can simply drag everything that's going into your buses and have them up top. And once you have your main bus for the lead vocal and everything that's going straight into it, you can select all of the tracks that go into that bus, auxiliary or audio tracks into that. You can hold shift and click and then drag all of them into that bus, and now everything is routed instantly, right? My lead vocal won't feed the bus of the lead vocals because this is actually feeding verse and my chorus. You can think of it however is best for you. If you want everything of the signal flow to go up or everything to go down, and that will mean everything going left to your mixer or right to your mixer, right? So first do all of the sends. In this case, since this track is never coming out, I leave it in black, so I'll leave it dark so I don't misclick something. And since this is going into the bus, I'll leave it in another color. Same thing with my auxiliary effects. Remember that you can create the sends and disable the parent send by looking at the routing settings by just holding Option and clicking on this blue icon. And if you're creating a send and you're disabling the master send, select all of the tracks that you're creating a send from, hold Shift, hold Option at the same time, and create the send, so that disables the blue. That way, this track will feed the effects that I need. Effects will feed this auxiliary, and then the auxiliary will send it into the bus, right? Does that make sense? Okay, so I'll do all of that for the rest of my track. Again, selecting my audio tracks that have my clips inside of them, holding Shift and Option, and I'm sending all of them one stage at a time. Now that I have the feed into my auxiliaries, I will feed my auxiliaries and the rest of my tracks into main bus. And if you don't want to do all of that dragging, you can also just click on the send and copy it by dragging it into another. For example, the parallel shells of the toms, I would simply send this one as well into the bus drums because this is a parallel treatment of my toms. And of course, add the send of the auxiliary toms into these parallel shells. So I have both of them here. And since I'm doing parallel drums compression as well, I will send the kick here, I will send the snare here, and I will send the overheads here. And now the parallel drums again into the bus. This might get crowded really fast. So you do that with the rest of your session. So it might look something like this, and it feels messy because now you have everything, and eventually you don't need to look at everything, right? So would you rather have all of your buses up top, so whenever you're adjusting the whole group of instruments, you have them near the same place. And there's an option in the mixer itself where if you click on the master track and you group your folders to the left, that works best for a session like this, where we are using folders. But look at the problem that we get into. Since we are using auxiliary tracks that are folders as well, look what will happen to this auxiliary toms track. It's going to send it far to the left, and I have this here really good at sight. This could also work, but sometimes something like my auxiliary for effects vocals, I want it to be closer to my lead vocals, and I don't want them flying around, you know? Or you could use this other feature that's grouping tracks that have receives on the left. So unless it's an actual send, it's not receiving, so it won't send it to the left. So for me, if you're using folders, like just stick to a structure that works for you. And if you're using this sort of every single folder physically to the left that you're dragging, then the group folders to the left won't do any difference, won't make any difference. Or you could group your tracks that have receives to your left, but then since you have your main auxiliary and stuff, like it will make a mess of your session. So let's copy this session, where now I have probably all of my buses here, and then I have at hand my lead vocals and whatnot. But since here I don't need auxiliary tracks, I can pretty much run down all of my session with ease. If I go into the view menu and I go into the track manager, something that I end up doing a lot is hiding tracks whenever I don't want to mess around anymore with them. Or freezing tracks or rendering tracks like reverbs. They're CPU intensive enough so that I don't really need to have them all of the time, especially these parallel tracks that consume a lot of CPU, depending on what you're doing with that processing. But I have this shortcut to hide my selected track. I don't use the show selected tracks shortcut because it gets messy really fast because it will show every single track that you're using. So for me, it's easier to just open and close the track manager and just look for the track that I want to find something like kick in. Let's call this kick in and let's call this kick out. And maybe I'll just look if I had hidden these two previously and I just want to show them again. It's easier to open the track manager and just click and drag, and now it's open. And I can use again shortcuts to just go quickly from one place to another. As soon as you open the track manager, your keyboard is looking at it. So it's not even a waste of time because you have to drag your mouse and click to it. This could work, but again, would you rather have it right at the top or all the way at the bottom? Because if you're looking at your mixer, if you have it on the left side, then you might want them closer to the left side. If you have it at your right side, then you might want them at your right side, because everything is going down that line all until they run into that place. So this is more of a, what do you want to see more in your session? How do you want to keep it ordered? How do you want it to look? And how to keep it clean? The thing that I don't like about this idea is that I cannot collapse my folders and look at the tracks that I need when I need to look at them really fast using the hide tracks or the track manager track. Even though I start collapsing every single gray track, that's usually my audio tracks, and most of the times I end up only dealing with auxiliary tracks or buses, because more often than not I'm really in the ballpark, and if I need to adjust something, I'll probably just unfold the toms and do a little bit extra here and fold it again. What would you rather do? In this channel you will find a lot of workflow videos, a lot of ways of real life situations where you're trying to solve situations that you might have not run into or that you're dealing with right now. And instead of having to figure it out right on the spot, I want to save you some time, invest a little bit of time doing this before having another project that might get you overrun with time limits. Go check any of my other videos about recording different demos in one single session, recording modes, like I have a couple on virtual instruments, like go check them out. And if you like them, I have a link down below for Buy Me a Coffee if you want to support my work. I appreciate it. And if not, that's fine. Just go like the video, subscribe, comment, hit the notification bell. Do all of those things that people on YouTube say. Straight from Mexico City, my name is Juanchis, and thanks for listening.